To our fervent followers and supporters, we just want to welcome you to another fresh episode of the program from the Dailies, which is the news and current affairs program segment of ECWA Television Africa. My name is Joyce Yakwari, and you are welcome to another fresh episode. I have Sambo Solomon in the studio, whom we shall be doing this together. We'll be reading more stories on our national dailies and discuss stories, that are making the headlines and what is happening in the nation, so you can be informed and aware of things that are happening in your country. Sambo, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Joyce. Good morning.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday. It's the midweek of this week. Is in between, 2 days after the major weekdays, that's working days, then 2 days maybe before the weekend. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I would say thank God it's Wednesday.
Well, but I think my favorite day of the week now is Thursday.
Thursday, why?
Thursday is just unbothered, and it's not a controversial day of the week. It's just there welcoming us to weekend.
Okay.
I call it the Friday Eve.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. Wednesday, starting the week, it's always on a high note because more expectation. You set the pace of the week, by Monday, and then once you hit Wednesday, you'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
At least we're rounding up the week.
The way you get to Wednesday, a bit relaxed.
Relaxed.
The way
then
you get
Thursday,
to Thursday, like
you say.
The weekend is here. Even though you won't. It's not like, okay, there are plans for the weekend, so you have to do something fun. But at least you just know the weekend is there, and the weekend doesn't really stress you that much, except maybe you have some plans, planned productions or whatsoever.
Yeah.
And other people work weekends too. But I love Thursday. Thursday, I love you. I can't wait for you to come tomorrow. So
okay, let's go straight to the papers that we have today.
Yes.
I have the blueprint with me, Joyce, and we have this on the front page, so bold, and they're saying Electoral Act Amendment, National Assembly okays direct primaries, APC concurs, PDP kicks. And the rider says lawmakers approve electronic transmission of results. Go and seek people's endorsement. Presidency tells aspirant. It is undemocratic, says opposition party. I ask myself, how? Well, if you want to know more about what they are saying that is undemocratic, then you check blueprint on page 6. And then we have this one that says federal government proposes 3.13% increase in local government allocation. We'll see good news to that. We'll pray that that will come to reality. If you look at it, everything that is happening, is in the grassroots. But mostly you find out, even in the setting, the grassroots is mostly not paid more attention. That's why you find out that even the allocation that is coming to local government, is somehow is being hijacked by the governor. So you barely can see any meaningful development coming, from the grassroots. Because when you talk grassroots, you talk about the words that we have. You talk about the local government that we have. Then the combination of those make up the state. But you see mostly concentration of infrastructure in the city, in the city center. So I just feel that's why they have been clamoring for local government autonomy,
yes,
which the local government chairman can have the power to execute whatever responsibility, enshrined by the law for him to do. That we can see some meaningful development coming from the grassroots. So if the allocation will be increased, not just increased, but it should be used well. We look forward to see this coming to an end. Nigerians to pay more for cooking gas. Marketers stop importation. I ask myself, we still import cooking gas in this country? Wow. It's all right. We have this that says Nigeria spends $2.2 billion on wheat importation annually. If you care to know who is saying that, check page 9. And Anambra supplementary poll, one dies, security operatives, IPOP clash in Ihiala. We have this that says, baby dumped by mother in Makodi, battles for survival in hospital. Now you can find on page 13. Federal government to establish urban farms, small home gardens. Osibanjo is saying that. You can find that story on page 7. Then you have M10 leads as Nigerian companies post profit amidst crisis. That you can find on page 23 of the blueprint.
Before I move to my own dailies for the day, I would like us to briefly discuss the issue of the cooking gas. Is already a problem, and it's hard to accept that what you used to spend before for cooking gas, you can't even spend it now. You have to like double or triple it over. And these are major complaints of Nigerians, major complaints of people that use gas for cooking. And you know, most times there are business owners too that use gas for cooking. And even in our homes, you find out that, yes, people invest more on gas, you know, cooking gas, so that they can cook their meals, easy boil, bathing water, so many other things. But right now, we buy gas in a very high amounts of money. Back then, I think 6 kg of gas used to be at least lower than 3,000 naira.
Yeah.
But now you find it that you're even buying it at a huge amount of money. Just yesterday, someone was telling me that he bought 12 kg for more than 10,000 naira. And you're wondering, what is really happening? Why do we have the hike in it? You know, why is he getting so not accessible for people? And we have people that are not really well-to-do, people that struggle to make ends meet, and they use this gas for their cooking at homes. But right now, it's like, okay, they have to look for another means, maybe invest more in electricity, which we have the electricity tariff hike. Then is it the firewoods, which you know how it can be, or is it the kerosene that is even more expensive than any other thing? What is it that we can do? Yes, people can invest in charcoal, but at least let this be accessible. Let this be looked into. People are crying to the government. People are crying to all these organizations, or people that are crying that this should be looked into and there should be more explanation. Just yesterday, it was said that the rise is about 240%, you know, in hike. And you are wondering what is really happening. And right now, they are stopping the importation of the gas. We really need to know what is happening. If we have hike in things like that, how much is the minimum wage? A regular person, a student, a core member, a family man, they can't afford this. There are people that can afford without stress or whatsoever. But even if you can afford, it's a budget. You have other things that you need to buy. You have other things. Is it food that you need to buy to cook first? Or is it school fees that you have to pay? Or is it transportation to your place of work? If you remove all these things from the salary you get at the end of the day, what are you left with? Then you'll be thinking of buying gas for 6 kg at 5,000, 10 kg at 12,000. Is not right at all.
It's not right, Joyce. You're talking about affordability. You're talking about budget. Even if you can afford, you know, it's something that you have to budget for it. But I can tell you, Joyce, even if you are collecting your legitimate money, like something you worked for, and they are paying you, for instance, as you are, they are paying you 1 million per month. Yes, we know when gas, they said, is 1,000 per kg, it won't be anything to you. But the issue is that, okay, looking around, is it something that we have already? The country is in possession of it. We have been flaying gas for God knows since the discovery of fuel in this country. You know, it's just of a recent. You can count the years back. It's not far that even the federal government and other business owners that have been clamoring that people should leave the issue of kerosene and then go back to gas. Gas is cheaper. You understand?
Yes.
That is how they have been convincing.
And now people have gone back to it, and there is already a huge hike in the prices.
You understand?
Is unbecoming. Nigerians are tired of when something is when there is a hike, then it remains there. It doesn't go down. We are scared of that. We are tired of it. We want things to be normalized. Let it be affordable to all middle class, high class, or lower class, any other class that you want to categorize people. Let it just be affordable and accessible.
Yeah, you see the point I'm trying to make. You know, you can find it easy when you spend money that you don't earn. That's when you can say, even if it's rice, even if it's 5,000 per mudu rice, you can buy, because you are using money that you don't really work hard to get that money. So if you look at even the community, people that doesn't even care, if you look at it very well, the money that they spent is not that is a legit money like that. So that's why they don't care. So imagine someone that we normally just go out and look for bricklaying job, and then comes back, is a daily pay. Out of that, that's when he's planning to get everything he needs to get for that day. You know, it's not fair. And it will interest you to know the gas that Nigeria, we can supply the entire Africa. Cooking gas. Yes. Hence, put them together, we can supply the entire Africa. And then someone will sit down and tell me that they are importing gas. It's a shame. It's a shame. I think the right authority should do something about it. And NNPC, they are in the front line. They should do something, because they are the people that are convincing us to go back to gas. Look at the issue of kerosene then, that people need to have to queue for 2 days. 2 days. True. You sleep at filling station just to get 25 liters of kerosene. Now people are back to gas, and then we are faced with this. You talked about students. Students, they cook with gas easily now, because it's safer and it's cheaper. Okay, now with what will you be left with? How will you cope? You know, they should look at the masses and think, okay, yes, we need to.
It affects everyone.
It affects everyone.
And that's why I'm using this opportunity to call on the authorities to shift their focus into checking what is really happening, why we have the hike. Put your attention there to see that all this will come to an end, because it's affecting your citizens. It's affecting the citizens of Nigeria. And please, we want to make life comfortable for most people. At least everybody should be equal in all sides, and everybody should be able to access all these basic needs in their homes. I would like to move to the Daily Times paper. And on Daily Times, we have Electoral Act Amendment. Finally, NAS OK's e-transmission of results, direct primary. And the writer says, PDP kicks, says no party has right to impose its processes on another. And APC tripartite committee disagrees on direct primaries, says Buhari will make final decision. These are the writers for the big story. Then we have Anambra Global Poll. INEC declares Soludo winner. And congratulations to him, and congratulations to the Anambra people. We've been discussing the issue here in the station. Then on the news, we have House passes bill to raise teachers' retirement age, service years. I was expecting maybe teachers' salaries, but this is more like service years. Then we have politics. Anambra governorship election is divine, and this is coming from Ojugu Jr. Then on business, Osibanjo says impact investment can balance Nigerian socio-economic inequalities. And this is coming from business, and it's on the Daily Times newspaper. And we know that he represented the president, that's His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari at the ECWA summit. Then bandits ambush police team in Zamfara, gunned down 7 officers. This is a sad news, and it's coming on page 13 of the Daily Times paper. And that is all on the Daily Times paper today, Wednesday.
Okay, I have News Direct with me, and it's talking politics. Direct primary. APC tripartite committee faults National Assembly over passage of electoral bill wants Buhari to withhold presidential assent. APC cannot impose its processes on PDP. Kola Olubadia, sorry if I didn't pronounce that name correctly. APC now is saying they will ask the president not to assent, and this coming from the ruling party, I feel is anti-people. Permit me to just use this word because, Joyce, if you can remember how Nigerians have been going back and forth, the civil society, lawyers, and even other political parties. You know, when the proposal came that yes, they approve the electronic transmission, but there was some clause that Nigerians feel, okay, you are just giving us with right hand and then collecting the power. You're giving us the power with right hand and then collecting it with the left hand. You said, yes, you agree, but it has to pass through the National Assembly again for you to transmit. Then what are we saying? The transmission of the election is about you people. And now you are saying the power should be with you. Does it make sense? And Nigerians fought for this and they kick against. And then one thing that I have to applaud the National Assembly is that they listen. They hearken to the voice of Nigerians that saying, no, that shouldn't happen in this 21st century.
Yes.
Is unacceptable. And behold, because we thought, yes, Nigerians can cry about a particular thing and then they will just choose to do whatever they feel like doing. But in this case, it was totally different, you know, because some Nigerians didn't even see this coming. Like, truly, they have passed this. Like, that's the way people are even surprised. And then the ruling party is saying they will ask the president to withhold his assent. Okay, let's see. Because I read somewhere that the National Assembly are saying, fine, if you ask him to withhold his assent on it, there's a clause that we have a power to veto his assent, and it will stand. This 21st century for crying outright and allowed, and this election is around the corner. How many days do even the present government have, you know, like it's remaining for this government to be history? History in the sense that the administration,
yeah.
you know, the administration, because we are just counting days. At least we should know. Do something that at least you write your name with gold, and then people will say, yes, it's during this assembly that we have something, or it's during this president that this law was ascended to, you know, and the rest. And then people will applaud you. Like I was listening to somebody was saying, okay, after this after the office, after your tenure,
yes,
that's the word. After your tenure, where are you heading to? Where are you? That thing struck me. Yes, are you going to a community that doesn't have road, doesn't have light, full of insecurity? Where are you going to stay after your tenure? Are you going to build prison for yourself amidst that community with big gates, big walls, you know, and the rest? It's a big question. So until we start doing things right, and then have a clear conscience to even come back to community and relate with people. You know, that which you refuse to fix after the office, you are still coming back to.
It will
if
face
you
you
live,
later.
it will face you later. You know. And,
well, you've said everything, so I'll just allow you continue with the...
Oh, okay. Yes. We have this that says insecurity bill to establish Center for Control of Arms, arms skills, of control of arms scale second region. That's a good one if that really will curtail what we are seeing happening in the country, as the country is being faced with serious challenge of insecurity. And we are praying that we'll look for solutions where we can get to really fight this ugly thing that is facing us as a country. PMS supply regulators, NNPC, seal MOU with downstream operators. And we hope that this will really help and bring relief to what people are clamoring, the scarcity of fuel and the
Yes.
rest. It has to come down to the downstream, because that's when the common man will see it, and then people will know that yes, NNPC is working. As you promise us that there will be fuel,
No
no
scarcity to be
scarcity, and
available.
the rest. So we are hopeful. And then 26th Noga game to hold March 22, Unilike VC. Nigeria convenes high-level business, investment and security summit in Paris. Osibanjo Bajabiamila battle over direct primaries. And then we have this that says Senate President gives MDAs 1 week to defend budget proposal. Dakuku blast Wike over refusal to pay Rivers student NICO fees. Just so much I can take with News Direct. I don't know if you have any interest on any
No,
of
no,
the
no.
story
I'll
here.
just move to the next paper, which is the village newspaper. And the village newspaper is mostly the Ogun State community news. So, and the first one here is saying, I'm not a witch. And this is coming from Iya Sapo. And I wonder why she's saying that, but you can get this paper to read more on page 16. Then, government can be everywhere. This is coming from Laimeri of Awa, Ijebu, and that story is on page 7 of the Village News. Then we have Otta Rotary Club gives loan to small medium entrepreneurs, page 10 of Village Newspaper. Paul Abiodun, I will expose him soon, APC chairman. That's a big story and it can be found on page 11. Then we have the Senate 2023, Femi Aina to start father of all empowerment in Ogun West, and that story can be found on page 3. Then ghost kills man while exhuming dead body in cemetery. That story too can be found on the Village paper. 2023, Ijebu's rise against Remo threatened to remove Governor Abiodun, and that story can be found on page 17. The inside story of Oba Sekuru, Adetona's deposition as Awujali, his monarch versus his excellency. You can find that story on the Village newspaper, page 17, or page 17 where you get the paper. This is mostly a local news of the Ogun State. So you can move on to another paper.
Okay, I have first news with me, and it said Anambra, Soludo stamps victory as a Hela polls. And it said defeats PDP's Ozibo with over 5,000 votes in supplementary poll. Soldiers allegedly shoot man that disappear with body. If you want to read more, you can take the first news. And then you have this new salary package await police, says minister. We have this, let's say, again, Pastor Tayo Odunkoya loses wife. Adoption of 18 council staff sparks roar in Kaduna as coalition of northern groups threaten to shut down Zaria. Oyo Reps member Adejumo dumps ADP for APC. Federation account federal government planning to reduce own allocation. That's all I can take for first news. Yes.
Okay, I would like us to move more to other papers, but let's take a time out so that we can breathe, then come back and review more papers. And this is to allow people that are watching us, that's the viewers, to remind you that this is the time that you have to call in to make your contribution, your input, or anything you want us to discuss. When you're calling in, please stay away from your television set or totally reduce the volume so that we can hear you, and you all only have 30 seconds to make your point. So when you call, state your name, where you're calling from, and go straight to your point. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back, and this is the program from the dailies where we review headlines of stories that are in our national dailies. We've started, and if you're just tuning in, this is the time where you contribute on the show. So our phone lines is open and is clearly displayed on our screen. My name is Joyce, and I have Sambo also that is doing this with me, and we are reading more stories on the headlines. I would like to go to Daily Independent, and on Daily Independent we have the big story: Nigeria spends 31.2 billion naira yearly on coconut importation. And that story can be found on page 6 of Daily Independent. And this writer says stakeholders say 32 coconut states can generate 1.92 trillion naira annually. Tax government on central processing units at local governments to boost value chain. And you can read that if you have interest in it, especially the people that are into business and, you know, evaluation of how we import and export things in the country. The federal government states consider Operation Feed Yourself to tackle malnutrition. APC awaits Buhari's decision on primaries as tripartite committee meeting is deadlocked. Then gunmen kill 7 policemen in Zamfara ambush, kill retired Air Vice Marshal grandson in Kaduna. That story can be found on page 6 of Daily Independent. Senate condemns Odili's home raid, asks IGP to make findings public, and that story can be found on page 7. COP26, world leaders paying lip service to climate change crisis, and this is coming from Buhari. Ikoyi building collapse, Lagos government to release bodies of victims this week, page 29 of Daily Independent. Then we have Anambra governorship poll. INEC declares Soludo winner, which we congratulate him on the show, and we congratulate also the people of Anambra State. Yes. NAS OK's direct primaries, e-transmission of poll result, passes Electoral Act Amendment Bill. No party has right to impose its processes on another. This is coming from PDP. Minister calls for capital punishment for illegal gold miners. Page 29 of Daily Independent. That's where you can find the story. Again, Pastor Taiwo Odukoya loses wife. And this is on page 29 of Daily Independent. And we just want to send our sympathy to him. We send our sympathies on the loss of his wife, and hope he's taking it, you know, gradually, because God gives and God takes. Yesterday he posted on his Instagram page that he's sad to announce, but he has hope in Christ that everything he does is beautiful. So we are sorry about the loss of the wife.
Yeah. You know, it's not easy to
lose a loved
one. You know. And I have a Daily Trust with me, and it has this big caption that says, resident decry road in FCT as reps summon minister. Legislators frown at poor waste management, says Abuja terribly unsafe. Chide Bello over non-appointment of mandate secretarial. That you can find on page 5 of Daily Trust. Bandit killed 7 policemen in Zamfara. Anambra governorship Anambra governorship, Soludo maintains lead as INEC collates a HELA result. After daily trust report, federal government orders NNPC to collect freight charges for petrol in Naira. That you can find on page 23. Readership drop affecting newspaper revenue. Food security, Nigeria plans operation feed yourself. National Assembly, okay, e-transmission of election result, direct primaries. That's what Daily Trust is carrying today. You can do well to meet your vendor and pick one and go through your area of interest and read through.
All right, thank you. I would like to move to this day newspaper. And on this day newspaper, we have the big story. After Ihiala, Soludo emerges Anambra governor-elect. And he says, I will never disappoint you. And I just want to hear the reaction of the people of Anambra, how they feel about it, what are their expectations now that he's governor-elect, just waiting for him to resume office, you know, and all the processes for him to be in office. How do they feel? Yes, by March. So how do they feel about it? How are they happy? What are they expecting differently, you know, from him? And coming out to actually vote with a high margin, definitely there's an expectation, or definitely there was maybe a frustration that they wanted to change or whatsoever it was, you know. I just want to hear from the number of people, but we send our congratulations to them. Then we have the National Assembly okays electronic transmission of results, direct primary, expresses optimism that Buhari will sign bill into law. Then PDP kicks, says no party has right to impose its processes on another. You can start reading the story on the first page and continue later in page 12. CBN unveils strategy to cut wheat importation by 60% in 2 years. Initiative to save $2 billion FX annually. Then Senate in a resolution condemns invasion of Justice Odili's home. This story can be found on page 5. And the last story here says Lagos tops chart as states raked in 849.12 billion naira IGR in first half. And that story also is on this day newspaper today.
Okay, I have the Punch with me, Joyce, and the Punch has this on her front page. It's a e-transmission of results, direct primaries. Governors run to Buhari as senators, reps defy parties. Transmit bill next week, that you can find on page 2. And the writer says National Assembly members outsmart governors, pass Electoral Act amendment bill. We will veto bill if Buhari fails to assent legislation, says federal lawmakers. And then Uncle borrowers, farmers owe CBN 463 billion naira as defaults rise. That you can find on page 17. Bandits gunned down 7 policemen on patrol in Zamfara. Born van. Aviation fuel price rises by 70%. 70% international airlines may. I'll take that again. Aviation fuel price rises by 70%. International airline may rise first. That you can find on page 16 of the 18 of the Punch. And then you have this that says Fashola completed 4,000 houses, abandoned them. Breaths alleged. That you can find on page 9. The Zenith 450 million naira EFCC rearranged.
The issue of
Okay, we have a call.
We
Gas,
have Augustine from Calabar.
cooking gas
Yes, please.
is, in fact, yesterday I went out in the evening to buy gas in Calabar. A kilo is 850 naira. So it's becoming so alarming. And we're living close to students. Students are finding it difficult to buy gas, cooking gas. So the authorities should do something about it.
Thank you very much for your contribution. You see, from what we discussed about the
Yes.
cooking gas, people are not finding it easy. Imagine buying a kilo, that's in Calabar, 850. I mean, kg, 850 naira. If you times it times 5 or times 10, you know, if 10 kg is, you are buying 850 times 10 kg, that's 8,500 is too high for people to even afford. And we talked about the students, we talk about the core members, how much are they receiving? You know, even the student, they look forward to the pocket money that they receive from their families. And the families too, you know, look at the salaries they receive. So there is an increase in their pocket money for them to even, for their children to be able to afford this. And it's a minus, a big, huge minus on your own salary or on your own earnings at the end of the month.
And you will ask Joyce, how much is the salary? Remember the issue of legitimate, I think we have a call? Okay. The minimum wage. You remember the saga, you know,
Yes.
back and forth with it. You know, finally, it was passed into law. It was assented. But up till now, so many states haven't implemented that particular portion of the law. And then you wonder, and then even yesterday I was watching the news, you know, Kwara state government workers are giving the state government 2 weeks ultimatum for them to go to implement the minimum wage, you know, and all the promises they had for the workers, you know, if not, they will go on strike. We shouldn't be saying this. And you can see people celebrating payment of salary as achievement.
As if it's an achievement in
How
being
can it
in
be
the
an
office.
achievement?
And you should not always wait for people to threaten you with strike or protest before you do something better for them. We have another call, a caller from Lagos. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I want to congratulate Governor. It's a good win. At least it will calm the IPOP and bring peace to Anambra State.
Thank you very
Okay, thank
much
you.
for the contribution.
I want to also say concerning the gas,
Yes.
we are really going through hard survival. For a man to live now is only by the grace of God. Looking at the gas and even the electricity, you cannot use your hot plate in your house again because as you are using, this is how your bill is increasing. So government should do something and help us. It is right time they should look at the poor masses. We are really going through a lot. We're only surviving by the grace of God. I don't know how they want to do something about this case. Nigerians are not finding it. That's why many people are trying to go abroad to make a living. It's well.
Thank you very much.
well.
And it's like when you ask an average Nigerian, like his dream, you know, there is no, that we don't have the Nigerian dream. I think we have the American dream.
Yes.
We just want to earn a living abroad. We just want to make money, save, then just go abroad. Because we don't see the dream, we don't see the future, we don't see the bright future. It's like people are scared every day when they wake up, something will be high, they won't be able to afford it. Or is it the issue of kidnapping that they will hear about, or maybe someone close to them, you know, being kidnapped. So many, Nigeria is stressing people. It's as if you are living. It's as if you are surviving in a country that you're supposed to be living in, you know. So it's really worrisome that the authorities should really do something. This is where people have invested their savings and all, but now it's so high that they can't even afford. Well, let's talk to our caller from River State, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
We didn't get your name, though.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm in this violation. I want to congratulate
Anambra State government.
Yes, I want to congratulate and the Anambra people for maintaining that.
Wow, I think the reception is poor. But, well, you can call us back if you did not complete your statement. We are here to receive your call and even talk to you. But I from what you are saying is you want to congratulate the Anambra State government, and it's a big win for them. So I know they are hearing you, and I know they are happy about it. And also we congratulate them. Do we move on to other stories, or you like something to say based on the opinions of our callers?
I want to take this from the Punch. It says Ogun teacher brutalized 3-year-old for inability to write. Joyce, a 3-year-old.
I saw the picture. It's so sad.
It is. What is happening now? People, you remember here, we are talking about how teachers lost about 800.
Okay, we have Emmanuel for Owerri. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. My own interest is on outcome.
Okay, can you please pick up a bit, please?
Okay. My own
This reception is really bad.
We can barely hear you, sir. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. You see, we are talking about, I read somewhere that even the federal government is even thinking of how to amend a clause that will increase the retirement age of teachers.
Yes.
And then a teacher is behaving like this to this child. Then you start wondering, people...
Okay, we have Stephen from Makurdi. Please go ahead, Stephen. Stephen, you are live. Please go ahead with your contribution.
as regards Soludo's
yes, please.
he has won as reflected. This is a lesson to all Nigerians, both those protesting and the voters, that is to perform credibly when you are giving any position. Everybody will put for you as from now. Soludo performed very well when he was
CBN governor.
That was what earned him this position today. So Nigeria should take note. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much for your contribution, and I can feel the happiness even from your voice. So please go ahead.
Yeah, so Judge, that's just my concern. I just feel, the authorities should really look into it, because with what is happening in the country, parents are not finding things funny. You are looking for somewhere to keep your child, that the child will be safe, and then you are back faced with the issue of cooking gas, rice hike, all the hikes that you can mention, and then a 3-year-old child should be brutalized simply because he cannot write. 3-year-old. Then I'm doubting if that teacher really passed through that training, that teacher's training institute, because that's where they are being molded, on how to even handle this
Yes,
children, from that time that they start learning, even to university level. That's a process. That's why they are whatever is a professional something. So you can imagine.
And it has to
so
do
sad.
with some Okay, please, we have another call. Please, what is your name and where are you calling from? Okay, please. As I was saying, it has to do with personality. And I think the school should have like a guideline or a law that will be put in place against discipline, and what should be a proper disciplinary action to be taken against a child. And if it is about reading and writing, I think it's not anything about discipline now. It's about teaching the person. It's about, you know, some processes or strategies put in place so that at least the child can be able to pick up even. And we have, you know, in Nigeria, we don't really know when someone is struggling with maybe an issue of maybe not able to read or write. There are words for it. Then there are some people that are slow readers, slow writers, or their processing, you know, is very slow compared to that of their fellow students. But we don't know that.
That's why I said, Joyce, you pass through a process to become a teacher. They have been taught. That's where they've been taught of all of these processes. Some of people are slow in learning, you know, at age 3. That's when some people are joining even the play class, to be honest, age 3. And then you're beating the person for writing? No, that's unacceptable. The authority should really do something about that.
Okay, is that all for the punch?
Yes,
okay.
yes, please.
We have another caller from Enugu State. Please, what is your name, and go straight to your point.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Jesse.
Okay.
And I'm calling from Enugu.
The name again?
My contribution is towards that teacher.
Yes.
Who utilize a girl or boy. Not writing well. I think
A girl.
that man or that woman must be a mild psychiatric case. And if you look into the mental individual. Thank you.
Thank you for your
very
contribution.
much. Thank you. On the Guardian paper, we have Anambra Gobar. INEC declares Solodo winner. And it says unknown gunmen in shootout with security operatives. Story can be found on page 2 of the Guardian paper. Then another story says NAT snubs APC governors, passes electoral bill with direct primaries. And the rider says INEC to determine resource transmission mode. Direct primaries now mandatory for political parties. Then lawmakers are to transmit electoral bill to Buhari within 7 days. APC governors oppose direct primary, may truncate presidential assent. Then direct primaries will overstretch, INEC says PGF chairman. PDP, no party has right to impose its processes on another. Then on Kogi, Assembly threatens to arrest bank MD. Europe begins restitution of Africa's looted artifacts. And gunmen kill retired AVM daughter orderly in Kaduna. IPOB gives Ozodimwa ultimatum to free members. Kanu to appear in court today for treason trial as IPOB declares sit at home. That story can be found on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper.
I have the Sun with me. Quickly, I take invasion of Justice Orderly's home. Senate indict EFCC, AGF Malami, police. That you can find on page 6, and it has a rider that says demands disclosure of probe panel, probe final findings, tax IG on missing Vanguard reporter as Rep 6 investigation. And then National Assembly, PDP, APC clash over direct primaries. I don't know why the issue of direct primary is really eating these 2 political parties, you know, because so far they are the ones that are talking now, you know. But even at that, yes, I have a reservation, but you know, let's see how it goes. I'm hopeful that things will really change from the normal way we used to see, because if you talk grassroots politics, I have the feel, I have the test, I know how it's been done, because sometimes the direct primaries, that's when you find out even people that are not members of the political party, they will come. The entire community will just come and line up And ideally, it's supposed to be a political issue that just the political party card carriers that are supposed to go for that. But you just find out it's the entire community that will come. And then the issue of line up, you have maybe 10 candidates in that particular community, and then they line up on each, and then you find out someone after counting maybe 1, 2, 3 after they finish the first, and then the person get out of the line and go back to be counted. It will interest you to know that one person can be counted 10 times. And at the same queue, like you start wondering, before you know it, the place will get rowdy, and at the end of it, they will say there is no primaries. So these are some of the things that I think even the National Assembly should, or the INEC, I don't know who really, but I think the National Assembly should really look into, because this is where politicians can find another way of, if someone knows that he's not winning, can just create a scene there, and then at the end of it, the exercise, and then a huge amount, like someone was saying, it will overstretch the INEC, because INEC have to come and monitor what is going on. So imagine the political parties that we're having, all of them are coming and then they're doing direct primaries. So you can imagine. But I feel is another topic for another day.
I will go straight to Business Day paper on, it's just one story I would like to take here, which says MTN Nigeria, Airtel PSBs to create 1 million direct jobs. And this is good news for Nigerian youth. So that is all for the papers today, including I just want to appreciate Augustine that called from Calabar, and we had a caller from Lagos and River State. Then there was Emmanuel from Owerri, then Stephen from Makurdi, and our last caller from Enugu. I didn't get your name, but we also appreciate you. Thank you very much for calling to give your contribution on the show. It shows that you are watching and you support us. And to our supporters, thank you for your financial support, thank you for your prayers, and we are really appreciative of that. And to the ECWA executive, we just want to say thank you for giving us a platform to create awareness and to bring information to viewers out there. Sambo.
No, thank you, and remain blessed.
All right, join us tomorrow, even as we bring you another fresh episode of the program from the Dailies. My name is Joyce Iyakwari. Stay blessed.